Hello people, today I have with us the high grade Kyokai Senki kit Joe Hound, and this is in 172 scale, 172nd scale, whichever you prefer. As you see here, I've built two of them so far. I have this one in activated mode and this one in deactivated mode or transport mode. This one says parked state actually. There is a small write-up about this. I'll go ahead and read that right now. These are outdated AMIMEs. Those are the Automobile Artificial Intelligence mounts of the NAC, the North American Confederation Forces. Their output and mobility are significantly inferior to those of the modern Brady Hounds, but are sturdy and durable compared to other AMIMEs. Since they've been used as the main unit of their faction for a long time, they have multiple variations. They are still used in operation despite being replaced by Brady Hounds due to their high reliability. Their operability has also resulted in certain units being captured and used by enemy forces. We also have a small write-up about this assault rifle. It says, this is an assault rifle for AMIMEs, officially adopted by the NAC forces. They are general-purpose weapons that can be used by AMIMEs belonging to the military forces. They are large machine cannons designed and manufactured as handheld weapons for AMIMEs, and are lightweight and easy to wield by them. So you won't actually see these in the anime being used by the NAC. You only get to see them being used by the Yatagarasu, which is the Japanese resistance forces, which is kind of funny because these are particularly designed and are meant to be used by the NAC. But they are in a green tone too, so the reason they made these ones in brown is a little odd to me. I think they would have done a green one, but unfortunately this is the only variant they made of it. So as I said, this one is in the park state. You can see that its eyes are closed. Its hands are closed, and its feet are deployed in the lockdown position so that it's nice and stable. That can be carried by the air carrier that I have reviewed before. I'm going to go ahead and do an articulation check on this one because they are built differently than the other hounds that I have shown before. All right, so unlike his brethren, there is articulation in his head, and that is a very weird thing because most of the other hounds don't actually have that. Now, it's a very simple two joint operation. You got two ball joints down in here, and then this one slots in place. This one actually isn't supposed to come off the way it did, but that's how it goes sometimes. And then below his head there, you see these are actually what open and close his eyes. So if you put them together, you have the open position like so. Let's see if I can get that on camera. There you go. And it also looks like you could turn it to face other directions as well. So that's kind of neat. So you put them both back toward the middle. And we have his default state. And so with that articulation there, you do get that slight head movement. Let's see if I can get it all the way in. There we go. So you do get some, get that all the way back in there. And you do get some slight head movement side to side, not a lot. And then the ball joint allows you to move it backward and forward in any of those positions. Not too much, but it is better than what the other ones had. Now, this one doesn't have the big backpack vent like the other ones do, and that usually helps the air carrier hold them hold them in place. And these ones are not used as thrusters, unlike on the other ones. Instead, it looks like they're used as cannon holders. So these big things being repurposed later on in the evolutionary line is pretty neat. So you see here that the joint system is different than on the others because of how this one is attached. I guess with the thrusters on, you don't really need to keep those stationary. And so you get a joint set out here as well as in here. And it also allows you to move these forward or back so that you can spread the arms out in various ways, as you see here. And now this one can move up and down just like the others, and it can replace the other ones if you wanted to do just a mere ground-based version of the Brady Hound or Brady Fox. And similar to the other, you have a ball joint that plugs into this one, and you can move that like you would any other ball joint. And then you can move this up and down on that ball joint, which is pretty crazy. You also have the rotation right here and 1 point of articulation at the elbow. As you see, you can lock in a straight position all the way to over 90 degrees. Not sure how far that would be. Ball joint on the wrist, nice and simple. And then you get the knuckle mode just like you do on the Brady Hound and Brady Fox. And then I think that goes in. Let's see. It should come out. Maybe I put this one on backwards. No, that's right. It should slide out. Yeah, like this. That opened up to let you put the weapon in. And also, it protrudes these two knuckles for punching purposes. Because, you know, you got to have a close range weapon. The waist here is different than the other sets where they have that ball. On this one, you do get a point of articulation just like the ball, and you get a point of rotation below. And otherwise, it looks exactly it looks very different, but acts exactly the same. The front skirt moves up and down here. The rear skirt has a similar feature to the other hounds and foxes, where you can put that up, down, and then push it back in. So it's a small little plate here. I think maybe that is supposed to facilitate the landing or the park form, but I'm not sure why that exists. I mean, maybe for maintenance, something like that. It would make sense, I think, if it was for maintenance. So flap here. These are not ball joints like the Brady Fox had. These ones are just clips that go in place, move up and down. Now, the cool thing about this one that the others don't have is that it actually does have a drop down. And that makes for some really crazy poses. And I think that's because this one is being used by the Yatagarasu, that it gave you that little extra in terms of articulation. That said, it's not a lot, but still something is better than nothing. The leg can rotate at the top here, and you do get 1 point of articulation at the knee, just like the other ones. This one can move up and down as well, but most of the time it's going to be placed nice and flat. The construction on the leg, I think, is the same as on the Brady Hound. So very similar here. The upper section is all different. This one is where you're going to get the same recycled stuff. Right here is that little joint guard. This one's slightly different than the one that comes on the Brady Hound and Brady Fox. And the foot is very different. So you get the same point of articulation as you do on the other, that moves up and down and then around this way. But you don't get the claws that you had on the others. It's a very solid looking foot, only one claw on this one. And then as you saw here, this is supposed to plug in down here and keep that in place. All right, in terms of extras, this one has the little weapon here. This one comes with a grenade launcher that can be removed. The magazine can also be slipped out, slid back in. And it comes with 2 hands extra. And there's the nice open hands, very similar to the ones that come with the Brady Hound and Brady Fox. So you get that knuckle slide back and forth on the closed one, not on the open one. But you do see that it does have 2 thumbs, which is, I think those are really cool. I like that. I don't know why that one's fascinating to me. In terms of height, there aren't that much different than the Brady Hound here and the Nyuren, which is the which is one of the other antagonist suits, which is a lot of fun. There were a lot of antagonists in that show. Which means that if you look at either of these two videos, you'll see exactly how tall these are versus my other kits. Don't want to take them all out to show versus this one right now. So while this one was rather expensive when they first got launched at $30, I think he's actually pretty worthwhile. I bought a couple of these ones at $20 a piece. I bought actually 6 of them. So I got a pretty big percentage off of what they normally run. You know, at least a third off, so that's cool. I did have to buy 6 of them to do that, but I'm not gonna say anything bad about where I got them from. I happen to really like this one. This one is my favorite of the Brady family, the Hound family. I don't know, it's Joe Hound, then Brady Hound, then Brady Fox is how the evolution went. But it's a pretty cool line of model kits and a pretty cool line of mechs in that universe. So I really do appreciate how they evolved them during the course of the show. Even though they didn't show this one as the enemy unit, they showed it on the side of the allied units. But it is pretty cool that you see all 3 different variations, and then even a 4th one later on down the line, but that might be spoilers if you didn't watch the show. I will actually be reviewing that one pretty soon as well, so we'll see that one. But this one is indeed my favorite. I think it is the clunkiest, most boxy, most real robot, I think, of the group. Looks like something someone would actually design and field in battle, so that's why this one is my favorite. But with that said, I will let you guys go. And I will see you guys next time, or you'll see me, but more than likely, you'll see my stuff. Bye-bye.